I am back again with the third book haul of the crazy spending spree. Now, I had mentioned in the first haul that I was going to have a book closeouts haul, a everything else haul, and then a second book closeouts haul, and that was supposed to be it. And then I placed another order at book closeouts, so it turned out there were going to be 4 hauls. And then last night I kind of went shopping at the grand opening of the store my sister was working at, and there will be 5 hauls. But I'm gonna try to space them out because it's just ridiculous. I know I'm ridiculous. I think this is all gonna be used one day in my hoarder's bio tape. So all of these came from book closeouts and they were all half off. So I used that as an opportunity to get some things that had been on my wish list. This haul comprises a good chunk of my 2011 wish list. Anyway, on to the books. First up, I have Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. I just recently had this one on Friday Face Off because the paperback is a completely different cover, really different style and everything. And even though the paperback cover with the eye won, I really like this one. I like that even though it's that sort of typical pretty girl in a gorgeous dress thing that YA does a lot of, there's a fierceness to it, and she looks a little bit like she's coming to get you, and I like that. And I also like the split thing and the shatter across the text and the tagline at the top, "My touch is lethal, my touch is power." It just really works for me. So anyway, I thought this one sounded really good. I love this cover. Had been wanting this one for a while. When I saw it half off, I thought, well, yes, I will take that. Sweet Venom by Tara Lynn Childs. I love this cover. I love that little curly braid. I've said many times I am a fan of Greek mythology, and any mythology for that matter, and this is a take on the Medusa tale, hence the little braid thing. So I am of course geeked about that. Sounds really good, heard some great reviews of it, and definitely looking forward to it. Illegal by Bettina Restrepo. This is contemporary and it sort of takes on the illegal immigration, kind of personalizes it. I thought it sounded really good. I haven't heard a ton about it. It was one of those that as soon as it popped up on my radar, I wanted it, knew it was something I was going to be reading. It seemed like for a brief minute there, a lot of people were posting about it, and then it just disappeared, which is a shame. So this was a debut last year. I'm hoping that it will live up to my expectations. This is a topic I find really fascinating, and I think more people need to approach with compassion. And so I'm thinking that, you know, a story like this might help kind of show the other side. So, looking forward to this one. Die For Me by Amy Plum. I've heard really mixed reviews on this one, but I've heard enough good reviews from people that I trust that I think there's a chance that I will like it. It's one of those that it's weird because of the reviews that I trust and the reviewers that I trust, it's split almost 50-50 of people who really like this and people who really didn't. So not sure where I'll fall in that spectrum, but I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. And it does have one of my favorite covers of last year. Just really beautifully detailed. Love it. The Faerie Ring by Kiki Hamilton. This one came very highly recommended to me from a couple of people. Most specifically Kristen of the Book Monsters. I'll link the Book Monsters below. A lot of people seem to really like it. I have said before that, you know, the whole fairy thing can be really hit and miss with me, but it's looking like this one will be one of the better ones, so I have my fingers crossed for that. Looking forward to reading it. The Den of Shadows Quartet by Amelia Atwater Rhodes. I've never read anything by her. I know that she's fairly popular. I've always been sort of hesitant. I'm not entirely sure why. I guess I just kind of lumped her with a lot of those writers that churn out a lot really quickly, but they had this omnibus that has all 4 books of the Den of Shadows Quartet, In the Force of the Night, Demon in My View, Shattered Mirror, and Midnight Predator, and it was only $1.50. So I figured 4 books for $1.50, I really can't go wrong there, and it'll give me, you know, a chance to try out her writing, see if I like it. The Princess Curse by Mary Haskell. This was very high on my wish list last year, obviously. I love anything that's sort of fairy tale and good adventure-y middle grade with strong female characters, and I love this cover. Clearly this is a Jason Chan piece of art right there, and I adore him. And I heard excellent things about it, and it was just one of those that I knew I would get eventually, and just hadn't picked it up yet. When I saw it on book closeouts, that was a no-brainer. The day after I placed the order, I found out about a signing little tour called Written in the Mitten that is all composed of authors who are Michiganders, as am I. Not an author, but a Michigander. And she is going to be at it because she is a Michigander. So that just was like fate. Clearly, it is meant for me. I bought it. Now I'm going to go get it signed. That's not until August, so it'll be a while, and I will talk more about that then. But yeah, I think it was meant to be. Warped by Marissa Gibbord. This is one of those that, just like I mentioned for Cruel, went straight on my wish list because of one word. Weaving. Anything that mentions weaving or tapestry or anything like that, definitely a wish lister. I really like this cover. So I am looking forward to this one. I did hear some kind of mixed reviews, but a good chunk of them were good. But I'm going to try to go into it open-minded and enjoy myself and my weaving book. Next, since Austen in August is coming up, every time I spot any kind of Austenite title, my sensors go up. And when it gets around an event, I feel the need to buy them even if I know I'm not going to read them. So this is no different. There were some Austenite books that were on my wish list, and they were in the little half off sale, so I figured why not? Prada Prejudice by Mandy Hubbard. This is a contemporary and historical take. It involves a contemporary girl who accidentally sort of time travels back to Regency England and sort of lives through some Jane Austen-iness, which sounds fun. I'm certainly going to treat it as just a light fun read and not something that I'm going to take seriously, because I know from some reviews that I've read that it would probably fail if I were to approach it that way. But I can do, you know, light and fun and just tongue-in-cheek. That's fine with me, so. Don't know when I'll be reading it, but I have it now. Enthusiasm by Polly Schulman. I had a lot of people recommend this one to me last year for Jane and June, and just didn't have the time to pick it up, but it was definitely on my radar. This one is a contemporary take, and it's set in, I want to say, a boarding school, so this one will certainly be just more of an inspired by type of story rather than a continuation or an adaptation. And I Was Jane Austen's Best Friend by Cora Harrison. This one is, unlike most of the others that I have or have read, in that it's not an adaptation of any of her works or a continuation of any of them. You know, it's all kind of historical romance about a girl who's sort of journaling her life and including, you know, little tidbits about what her friend Jane thinks of everything that's going on. So it's going to kind of hopefully make use of that sort of acerbic wit. I guess we will see. Now, the last book I got is not for me, it's actually a gift for someone else, but I will show you anyway. It's The Georges and the Jewels by Jane Smiley. I have a friend who is very much a horsewoman, and so when I saw this one, I figured I would pick it up. I did look it up on Goodreads before I bought it because I didn't want to buy her a dud, and most of the reviews are pretty positive, so hopefully she will like it. So that is all for the second book closeouts haul. There is a third one coming, but it is smaller, so that's good. I'm actually going to postpone the haul from last night until after the first. That way it doesn't get crowded with my Rewind and TBR coming up. So I will see you guys again on July 1st for my June Rewind and my July TBR, and then a few days after that for another haul, and then a few days after that for another haul. And then I think I'm going to be done for a good long while as far as the book acquiring goes. So that's all. Let me know what you think of the books that I got in the comments, and if there are any that are on your wish list or that you've read and liked or disliked or whatever. That's all for me. Happy reading!